What's going on, guys? My name is Brandon. Welcome to Audio Addiction, where you can find latest album reviews. You can find our band interviews, and you can find live coverage of the concerts that we get. I'll be posting MV on the Coast set probably around the same time this goes out, maybe a little bit later on. But definitely check back with the channel if you're interested in that. They played a huge set, which I'm excited about. Also going to a ton of shows in February. The first one that I'm hitting up is the Neck Deep tour that is going to be rolling through the Electric Factory in Philly. So if you're at that show, come say what's up. We're going to be doing a few things there, and I'm excited about that and just February in general. So if you liked any of that, also we'll be doing this album review and album review of Marmoset's new record. So these will probably go out around the same time, so definitely check out both of those records. Both incredible records, and excited to dive into those with you. So if you enjoyed any of that content, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that thumbs up. It really does go a long way, and it helps you guys not miss out on anything audio addiction related. So tonight, we're going to be talking about Tiny Moving Parts' new record, Swell.
You're the copper, I'm the litter. At the bottom of the wishing well, it looks as if we both have drowned.
So I haven't heard about this band in some time. I actually found out about their band through Tuck of Fit for a King. He posted a guitar video of their last album. I think it's Celebrate. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm almost positive that's the name of it. And I was hooked. It definitely reminds me a lot of what I love about that sort of genre of music. Almost like it feels very much... it feels very similar to Transit, but just definitely on a whole nother level. It's like Transit on like 10 times like crazier level. But anyway, I really fell in love with this band, and when they announced that they were releasing a new record, I had to jump onto this opportunity. I was really excited to listen to this for a little bit, and it's only been January already, and there's already been some really amazing records that have come out already. So definitely stoked to hear about this, and I'm going to go through each song, give you my thoughts and opinions on it. I'm going to give some pros and cons, and then I'm going to end it out with an overall rating. So the first track off the record is Applause. This song definitely reminds me of a more aggressive version of Transit. I know I keep mentioning them, but those are the things that I kind of were picking out when I was listening to this record, was that they definitely have that sort of Transit vibe to them, with that sort of indie alternative vibe to their music. But at the same time, their technicality in terms of guitars and just instrumentals in general is just top notch. And they surprisingly make it catchy and melodic. And I don't know how they do it, just with such intricacy. I feel like it's something that if you can listen to it many times, you can pick out different things, but in the same token, it's really cool because it's very melodic, it's very catchy, and for me, it definitely beckoned me to listen to it more and more as the more time they listen to it. So that's definitely cool in that regard. They just have this cool technicality but catchiness to their music. It just has this cool ebb and flow to it. And most of the song is just super high energy, in your face, but it definitely becomes soft in the bridge and then picks back up at the end of this track, which I can expect nothing less from these guys. They really have that sort of high energy. I'm kind of bummed out because they are playing Philly and it is sold out, and I have some other things that I can't skip to go see them. I really am genuinely upset that I can't go see them, because I'm sure that they kill it live, so I'm definitely bummed out about that. But if you go out to the show, definitely let me know what your thoughts are on it. I would love to just be super envious of you guys. But anyway, the second track on the list is Smooth It Out. Really liking the addition of synth in this track. I think it's really interesting, and I like how it kind of makes its way throughout most of the parts in the song. The guitar riff in the second verse is just so fluid. I don't know how they get the just tapping guitar riff so clean. It's just so amazing. And I think for me as a guitar player, I love listening to this sort of really intricate and just melodic and catchy guitar riffs. I think these are definitely some of my favorite guitar riffs that have been written, for sure. Just love the sort of fast intricacies of it, but I also like how they can make it more rock and sort of that regard. So I definitely like both plays on that. The vocalist has a really unique voice to to him for sure, and also liking the harmonies in the last chorus. I would have loved to hear that more throughout the track, but it's definitely a nice addition to this track in general. So we're gonna move into track number 3, which is Feel Alive. This one is definitely more of a rockier track, but it definitely becomes more melodic over time, which I think is really cool, as well as the same sort of unique time signature. I think it slows and then it kind of picks up, and it's really interesting and definitely has a math rock vibe to it. I think that some of these tracks definitely have more of that math rock rhythm to it, just the intricate time signatures, the sort of stop and go of guitar and just drums and bass. I think it really works out well, and obviously kind of plays well into that sort of high energy. Just those abrupt stops really make the tracks interesting. The guitar riff in the second verse is super killer. I don't know why, but they always write super sick second verses, and I feel like I say it a lot in this review, but definitely one of those things that I pointed out as well. The bridge is really unique as well in this track because it has a female voice in the bridge, which kind of offers a unique contrast to their vocalist. I think it's really cool. They utilize her a lot, and I don't know her name. If people know who she is, that would be sick. And if she has a band, that'd be even cooler because I think her voice sounds really great. I think her voice really meshes well with tiny moving parts, but I'd love to hear it just kind of solo and on her own. So we're gonna move into track number 4, which is Caution. This one starts off a bit slower but picks up around the 40-second mark, I would say. Liking the grittiness of the vocals. I think it's kind of the first time around that you hear in this album, and just adds another dimension to the vocalist as well as just another dimension to the track in general. Liking this sort of softer bridge. Is a nice change of pace to what has been constantly going on in the first 3 tracks of this record. And again, I love the addition of female vocals in this track as well, and piano was definitely a nice inclusion as well. I think the track definitely finishes off strong, and definitely kind of hits you in the face. So we're gonna move into track number 5, which is Wildfire. This one has more energy to it for sure. The intro has a ton of great riffs, and it just starts off the song so well. The inclusion of piano again was a really nice addition to this track in particular, and just sporadically throughout the track. I like how they arranged the piano in this. I feel like it meshes well with the guitars, the bass, the whole aesthetic of this song. The female vocals return in this track as well. I think they really round out the overall sound of this track. I think she has a really great voice again and complements the band in a really awesome way, and it's been really cool to hear kind of a female and male diversification in this track and just in the tracks that preceded it. Really cool stuff. Definitely appreciate this one. So we're gonna move into track number 6, which is Whale Watching. The drums in the intro were magnifique, beautiful. I loved it. It's just definitely something that caught my ear and was something that I really loved about this track, and it was something that kind of was the center point of this one. Really liking the sort of tender moments in this track, which is just the guitars and vocals. And then I really like how it kind of picks up energy after that. They're really just kind of a parent of timing and things out. I think that they just kind of space out parts where it needs to slow down and kind of pick up. I really appreciate that. I think it's really cool in terms of song structure as well. I felt like at some points the songs felt very kind of similar in certain songs, so I like the diversification of the kind of stops and starts. I feel like it definitely differentiates tracks from others, and it's just, again, the drumming is something that definitely sticks out in this track, and is something that when I'm going through to listen through this track multiple times or just this album multiple times, I think that's something that I just know that that's Whale Watching the track. So we're gonna move into track number 7, which is It's Too Cold Out Tonight. really liking the ups and downs of this track. I think it's mainly a softer, sort of slower track off the record, obviously, except for a few parts. But I think it's definitely more of a 50-50 mix as I've gone through and listened to it multiple times. I think there still are ups and downs, but I think it's a 50-50 mix of sort of softer parts and sort of heavier parts, and they kind of counterbalance each other in a really cool way. Again, reoccurring female vocalist, really good stuff. I like that she comes back in the bridge and isn't, I guess, as a parent, there are some parts where she kind of sticks out, but it's not like in your face like the other, not in your face, but it's not as apparent in a few other tracks that she's been featured on. Definitely liking the more melodic and emotional approach to this track. I think it really differentiates itself from the other tracks, and is definitely one that is another good one. So we're gonna move into track number 8, which is Malfunction. The vocalist kind of almost does a spoken word part in the first verse, which I think is really cool. But I feel like overall, as I was listening through to the album, this one felt like kind of the weakest track off the record. It felt like it was just lacking something. The chorus definitely is a saving grace of this song, in my opinion, but it didn't really feel as good as the rest of the tracks have been so far. I just don't know if it could have made this song more appealing. Maybe it might be a grower track, who knows? But to me, it was one of those tracks that I was listening through and I was just like, okay, this one's all right, but when you were listening to the previous tracks, you know what they're capable of. So I felt like this one was just kind of a sour spot in the record, and I'm obviously not going to just skew the whole record to be like this, but definitely this one could have used some work, could have used some change ups, maybe some interesting like guitar melodies or some interesting sort of drum parts or vocal parts. Obviously the spoken word thing was really cool, but I think there was something that just needed a little bit more differentiation. So we're gonna move into track number 9, which is Wishbone. Love the swing in this song despite it being on the sort of slower side. I don't know why I say it's a say that in a bad way. I think it's really cool. The harmonization was definitely a good move on their part. The guitar riffs absolutely stick out in this song. With the addition of piano was a cool kind of counterbalance to the really cool guitar parts in this song. Liking the grittiness of the vocals, they obviously make a return, and just adds a little bit more of an edge to this track. I think this one's probably the most well-balanced tracks, despite it starting off kind of in a slower direction. I think it kind of pans out towards the end and middle. I really appreciate that about this track. So we're going to move into track number 10, which is Warm Hand Splash. I feel like this one combines the best aspects of this record. I think this, if there was one track that I was going to tell you to listen to, it would definitely be this one, to kind of get you an idea of what Tiny Moving Parts is and just this album. I really feel like it highlights their math rock frame of mind, but also plays to a lot of their melodic and sort of catchiness of their music and just melodic tendencies. It really does work in this track the best. The changes in time signatures shows their mastery of just arranging tracks and just making it interesting and intricate. I really like the addition of horn that starts at 2 minutes and 38 seconds and kind of makes its way throughout the track towards the end. And I definitely feel like it's a good way to end off the record on a strong note. I would say that this one is absolutely one of my favorites. And again, I feel like it encompasses Swell in the best way. So my pros and cons about this, there are some. One con that I had is that some tracks feel very familiar, like they kind of blend together in certain spots. But overall, I think after multiple listens, to me, I felt like that kind of dissipated a little bit. There are some tracks that do have a similarity in terms of maybe riff or sound, but for the most part, I would say it's pretty much interesting front to back for sure. I think the variety of different sort of inclusions of things like female vocals, piano, the horns in the last track. I think those are the tracks that definitely caught my attention, or the really sort of happy, sort of like upbeat, high energy tracks that just are in your face. And not in an aggressive way, just in your face, as in melodic. So, definitely appreciate this whole record front to back. This is the first kind of Tiny Moving Parts that I listened to front to back. I really didn't listen to Celebrate too much, and I didn't listen to much of their old discography. So if you have an album that you recommend me listen to next by them, definitely drop it in the comments. I love what they do. I definitely feel like they're a more technical version of Transit, which happened to be one of my favorite bands. So definitely like that I'm not missing out on this band. I know I've heard a lot from not only my friends but from other people. Shout outs to Tuck for getting me into this band for sure, because otherwise I feel like they would have flew under the radar for me. So my overall rating for Tiny Moving Parts Swell, I'm going to be giving it a 9.3 out of 10. I definitely feel like it's a record you check out. Really solid from front to back. I don't know have anything to counterbalance it to. Obviously, if I've listened to other records by them, I can kind of play it off of how older records have sound. So obviously I'll come back to it obviously at the end of the year, and if it is an album of the year contender, I will definitely be talking a little bit more in depth about it. But for now, I definitely feel like 9.3 is where I'm at on this record. I've been jamming it a lot, but I'm hoping to jam it more throughout the year, and I'm hoping to kind of grow and fall in love with this record. It's definitely in that top contention for now. So that's it, guys. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on Tiny Moving Parts Swell. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Let me know. I'd love to have a conversation about it. I'm big on that, so definitely let me know in the comments below. Also, if you're going out to see them on tour, I'm going to be really upset, so I'm just kidding. Have a good time. They seem like a bunch of rad dudes, and they make awesome music, so definitely go support these guys. If you like this record, go pick it up, please. I'm sure they appreciate it. I'm definitely gonna go pick something up, maybe that vinyl, because that looks sick as hell. But definitely go check out their stuff. Links will be in the description where you can find out about their band and the tour that they're on currently. So without further ado, thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, again, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, check out the Marmozets album review. I feel like a lot of people like that band as well. So definitely go give that one a listen too. So my name is Brandon. We hope you got your fix, and we'll be talking with you soon. Peace. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com, and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.